What's up, hip-hop world? This is Gun Legacy Davis. What I'd like to talk about in this lecture is three topics. We'll say. I want to talk a little bit about existence. We'll get on existence. We'll talk about reality. Existence, reality, and consciousness. So, the world we live in right now, this is reality. It's a man-made world. We live in a highly technological advanced age where technology runs everything. And this is reality. Our reality in life is to get up in the morning, to work a 9-to-5 job, make an income, pay bills, come home. Maybe you have 4 or 5 hours to yourself. What do? You watch a little TV, do arts, whatever you do. You get up the next day, you go to work, come home, and this is a repetitious reality. And it's run by a clock on a wall, and you got to get up to that same time every day. Go to work, come home, cook, eat. But everything in reality that we do is repetitious, and it's actually, see, we're run, and it's a smoke and mirror effect. Okay. I could put on TV, get off work, you put on TV, and you watch the news, the evening news, or CNN. And what you're seeing on CNN is news broadcasters and anchors, and what they're talking about is nothing but opinions. They're right. You hear healthcare and Democrat, Republicans talking about this subject, that subject, and this person's right because I believe that his ways are right, or no, she's right. One person might say, well, I believe in him. His opinions matter, and these opinions go on, and it's all opinionated. This is our reality now. So, and then you come home, you go to work, and you come home and you get your paycheck. You can't make ends meet, so you get more upset. And for example, put it this way: it's like you get 300, 400, 500 people, even 1,000 people in a town holding picket signs up, protesting every year, every day. In this reality, we as a society have issues, or we're unhappy about something. And these issues that we're unhappy about and we're stressed every day about are because the same issues that everything goes on are the same thing that you vote for every so many years, 4 to 8 years or whatever. You're voting for somebody who's trying to correct reality. So now, they're trying to correct reality. There's somebody trying to correct reality and rule a country that has laws, rules, court systems. There's so many laws that they change. Laws change every day. Really, they do. Laws change every so many days, every month. And we don't even know all the laws. And when you listen to a lecture on presidential lectures, you don't even know. There's a name for this. Right now I forget what it's called. But presidential, when they talk, they have the presidents and politics have their own form of speech. We don't even understand half the stuff they say. But we watch this TV and we follow them and we say, oh yeah, I'm going to vote for him because I believe that. All you're voting for is your problems. What you're voting for It's the same thing that causes all your problems. So why are you voting? This is reality. Because reality, there's nothing perfect in reality. You're not perfect. That's a lie. That's bull. Shit. That's bullshit. Because everybody's perfect. You're born perfect. Your body functions, but you don't even have to think how your heart beats. You don't have to think how your heart beats. You don't have to think how your nerves work or how your blood flows to your body. It does it to perfection. Your body functions perfectly. You're perfect. They tell you you're not perfect because, you know, every time governors or politicians or the White House and Washington, D.C. tries to run things, it's not perfect. This is reality. Now, I'm going to move on to reality, and we'll talk about existence. So now we look back at reality. Reality is the 9 to 5 everyday life, repetitious thing we do. And we go to the grocery store, we shop, we go to work every day, we get up, come home, watch a little bit of TV, news, get up, go to work. And it's all repetitious, and we act like we have problems when it's all an illusion because there's really no problems. Because existence, what's existence? Existence means you're here. It exists. It's in reality, okay? Now, what I'm speaking through I'm speaking through a phone to reach you. It's technology. Okay? I exist. Not through this mechanism. I exist here and now. When you watch this and you get this video, I'm gonna be doing something else. I'll be somewhere else doing something. This is just a time that moment in my life where I have an idea to speak. But now, to live in the now is to exist now, not in the past. The past doesn't matter. The future doesn't matter. To exist now. Because if you exist in the now, you don't have to worry about your future or past. You worry about what's going on around you now. I'm hip-hop. Hip means to know. Hop means to move. Right? So to know and to move has nothing to do with what I'm speaking and saying. These words come out of my mouth. There's no definition for these words. There's opinions, man. These words aren't even... Look, 50,000 years ago, there wasn't even such thing as English language or language in general. Know by movement. So you can put your phone down if you're in a house. I'm in my apartment. I'm in the house right now. I put my phone down and look around me. Everything I'm looking at is a smoke and mirror effect. It's man-made. Not by the human hand, by a factory. And say this factory is a slave system, but it doesn't use a whip or ball and chain. It uses a piece of material made of, 75% is flax plant, 25% linen. It's material. And they weave this material, and they make it green, they put a president's head on it. That's the ball and chain, and that's the whip. And we actually unlatch our own ball and chain, or a whip, example, theoretically speaking, with this material woven thing. It's deceptive. We come home, we work, we buy these things now. I'm getting off track, but I'm going to get back on track here. So, you know, this existence doesn't lie in reality, okay? What I'm speaking is not even real. The only thing that's real is the flesh. Not even that. What's in it? Because nature itself, nature creates existence. Existence lies in the light. You know, if there were no eyes, there'd be no light. You wouldn't see it. If there was no light, there'd be no eyes. Because the sun, see? It makes life, creates life. So light lies in the eye, or the sun lies in light. Now existence is not me or you or him or her. We're all one. Everything I feel emotionally, everything I feel, my feelings, is the same thing you have. We all have emotions. I'm you. Everybody is one. There's no separate anything. We're all one. We're a oneness. Now, how do we create oneness? We're talking about consciousness. Now, we're running into consciousness right now. Consciousness. If you want to talk about consciousness. We're all connected. We're all one. And separate individual beings. Separate individual bodies. But we're one. Okay? But how can we be one, you might say? Well, there's so many stars in the sky. Every star and sun does the same thing another sun would do. You know? It's just maybe further away, it might shine brighter, or they're all the same thing. Every star and sun, every human and animal and plant on Earth, an organism. Consciousness lies up there in space. And consciousness lies in the head, they say. What is consciousness? We don't even know what consciousness is. But I'll tell you what consciousness is. I have a sensation. I have an idea that you can't even put in words. They have no word for what I think consciousness is. I haven't found it yet. And I'm not the smartest being on earth. But for what I know, there's no word you can even explain because I never heard of this word. The closest I can get to this word, they call it energy. We're all beings of energy. What we build by hand, we put our energy into the craft that we're building, into that item or object, this table here. If I built this table, my energy is put forth into this table. And we're all beings of energy. Energy is in everybody and every object and everything we create. Everything is energy. What does it matter? It doesn't even matter. Matter, I'm starting to disagree with matter. It's all energy. Just because something's solid doesn't mean it doesn't have emotion or feeling. The thing we call emotion or feelings is energy. Now, being hip-hop. Hip, knowing, hop, movement. I know movement. I don't know speech. I can't tell you what to do. So, I can't speak and say, you should do this because I'm the president and we're going to have, laws and rules and courts you got to abide by. That's not knowing. Knowing is internal, they call energy, soul, consciousness they call. Hip is consciousness. Hop is to move. So all these words I'm saying, all these words mean nothing. I could take the whole Webster dictionary and everything in that Webster dictionary is not even a fact. No word is a fact. Scientific terminology, when scientists say, well, to have a theory, you have to explain it or use word definitions. And there's new scientific words being brought up every day. How can I write my scientific thoughts down, which I do, and you say, well, you don't use the right scientific terminology words, these big words. You don't know. No, I don't have to know. I don't have to explain or show you anything. I can prove scientists wrong right now. When they use words, all they're doing when they're trying to describe something that they know, they're going through a man-made creation thing called language to express something else. And that's even a creation. How are you going to use a creation to tell a fact? Okay, how are you going to use language, these words, to tell a fact? Well, that's a creation. A fact is not creation. The only fact is energy. They call it energy. Again, I have a sensation of something, They call it soul, spirit, energy. But there's something else that there's no word for that I know. Let's talk about hip-hop. I'll take it back to reality. Now, reality, we get up 9 to 5, we go to work. Like I said earlier, you come home, you put a little TV on, you do your arts and hobbies. And arts is another thing I want to talk about. Because in, the conscious, in existence, the conscious, art was the first form of communication. Not language. Back in millions of years ago, cavemen, whatever you call them, cavemen. I'm not gonna use big words in terminology because I want you to understand. I'm gonna put as basic as I can. They would get berries and chew them up, place their hand on the wall and blow on their hand, move their hand from the wall, and they get a drawing of a hand. Now this is communication. They're trying to speak through cave drawings. They did it in different ways. Dance. They expressed and communicated. Tribes. Years ago, tribes in the jungle would dance for not just to communicate, for spiritual causes. This is hip-hop. Writing rhymes, rhythmic. Rhymes. Everything artistic, drawing, painting, this is language of the soul. Now, I'm hip-hop. And say, we've even heard that they're trying to build a hip-hop nation, an actual community, a city for the culture of hip-hop, the culture, members of a culture of hip-hop live in a hip-hop city. Now, how would you build a city? What would you do? Graffiti writing, DJing, breakdancing, beatboxing. All this, all the elements of hip-hop would be involved. But, if you want to talk about material, not reality, like I said before, 9 to 5 job, we'd have to have houses, wouldn't we? Because, we'd have to have man-made objects, and that's like the smoke and mirror effect. But instead of using factories to create your merchandise, I believe, in my opinion, every hip-hopper should make their own material knickknacks or anything in the house by hand, artistically, creatively. And then that's how you come up with these new ideas for hip-hop, these new elements. Because everything in the hip-hop city or hip-hop community should be made by hand. The hip-hop is him or herself. Not by a factory pumping out items. And who says we should even use money? Where we should use a point system. Now, this is the reality of hip-hop. If the city's ever done, hey, I'm just as good as anybody else, man. I could talk. This is a hip-hop lecture. And I'm not the best. Neither is the best lecturer the best. Because we're all one. We're human. We're an energy. What I have inside me is the same thing you have inside you. I'm trying to explain it. This whole reality of going to work, and no, it's not real. So I'm going to end this here. I hope you got something out of this. So peace, love, unity. One love. Glenn Legacy Davis. Take care. Peace.